Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing great and are in perfect health. Radhe Radhe to all of you. So, today I'm going to summarize you the topic that I have read recently, and the topic name is inflation and unemployment. In between, if you think that I am stuttering somewhere, please comment the timestamp of the video. Also, if I'm not able to recall something from that I have read, I apologize for that. I may be like revision on this. So let's cut to the chase and start with it. So we'll start with the quantity theory of money, which was given by Irving Fisher, which says that MV is equal to P into T, where M stands for money supply, V stand for velocity of circulation, P stand for price change, and T stand for all the transaction respectively. Later on, let's come to how we calculate inflation rate. Inflation rate is calculated as current inflation minus previous year inflation divided by base year into 100. That's how we calculate inflation rate. So up till now, you have heard a lot of time saying what does inflation means. So inflation means gradual and over the period of the time rise of the price of a commodity or goods. So let's come to next point of ours, that is how we calculate inflation. So inflation is calculated by three methods, that is I forgot supply, then import method, and then there is retail method or something like cost push method. Supply push method, cost push method, and import method. In supply push method, there are a lot of dollars chasing a few commodity, and in cost push method, the service is what is this? I don't like it, but let it be. I will try to not do what this fuck I'm doing. I'm sorry. So let's get started. Sorry for the digressing from the topic. Methods of calculating inflation. There are three methods to calculate inflation. The very first is demand pull, cost pull, and import method. The supply push method consists of a situation in which there are too many dollars chasing few commodities, and then in cost push, if the service or the production of a certain part of the process of the manufacturing rose, which eventually rise the price of the commodity, that is the cost push method. And then there is the import method. Import method usually compromises of inflation in foreign countries, which has impact on the internal country, that is India, Pakistan. So let's come to the next point of ours, which is um, I forgot it, but I won't look. I should look. That is measurement of inflation. So how we will measure inflation? Inflation is measured on two bases, that is WPI and CPI. WPI means wholesale price index, and CPI means consumer price index, and often called as retail price index. In wholesale price index, the maximum of the majority is given to the manufacturing goods. Like for example, if we have to give the weightage, it's given as manufacturing goods. Then we have primary articles, fuel and powers. I'm sorry, I have to look. Manufacturing goods, primary article, fuel and power, and then and in CPI, that is the consumer price index, we have to look for food and services. That is number one. Then we have clothing and etc. That is housing. The second one is housing. Then the last is fuel and supply. So the very first one is food and resources. The second one is housing. The third one is fuel and power. That is CPI. I'm really sorry if you are not able to comprehend whatever I'm saying. I'm really sorry. This is very little bit of a tough topic, but please stay with me till the end. Later on, I will tell you about no, like in the next video, I will narrate you about Coast Guard or the various part of the Coast Guard. So stay engaged. I really think that it's not engaging, but whatsoever, it's good. It helps me in revision and it helps me in speaking skill, like as I can see from my end. Let's not digress from the topic again. So WPI is given by NOE, that is National, that is OEA, Office of Economic Advisors, And then there is CPI. CPI is given by MOSPI, Ministry of Statistical and Program Implementation. I'm sorry. Program implementation. So how do we calculate it? WPI is calculated as the cost of a basket of goods in that year divided by cost of basket of goods in the base year multiplied by 100, that is WPI. CPI is calculated as cost of services in that year divided by cost of services in the base year into 100. And generally the inflation is calculated by RBI based on CPI of urban plus rural, that is the combined CPI. So that's how it's calculated. Later on, let's come to the inflation. There are types of inflation which are walking, creeping, running, galloping, and hyperinflation. The very first one, that is creeping, compromises of 3 to 5%. Then walking 5 to 10%. Then it's, what was it? Running 10 to 30. Then galloping is 50 to 100, and then there is hyperinflation, which is above 100%. Am I correct on this? I'm perfectly correct. Okay. So inflation. So if I may ask you that what is the opposite of inflation, you will say disinflation, which is slightly correct. So the opposite of inflation is disinflation, which means the gradually with over the period of the time, the price of commodity will depreciate or decrease to an extent it might cause a recession. Then there is an other word that is called deflation. Deflation. Deflation, what does deflation mean? So it means that over the passage of time or over the years, it the inflation rate will decrease. For example, right now the inflation rate is 10%. In the next year it will be 8%, 7%, and so on. Now we will go with the next topic. That let me remember. There's something I recalled, that WPI and CPI tells us about the period of, what I forgot. Tell us tell us about price change. Tell us about price change. Then there is IEE, Indian Index. I forgot. I'm really sorry. IEE, that is Index of Industrial Production. IIP, Index of Industrial Production, which is a quantity of product method to calculate inflation. Probably we can say that quantity produced. So it comprises of 8 core industries which sum up to 40% of Indian GDP. Those 8 industries are very important, which comprises of refinery, natural gas, cement, electricity, fertilizers. What else I'm forgetting? Steel, coal, and then there's one I'm forgetting. That's crude oil. Maybe I forgot. So to give you a sum up, that's refinery products, electricity, steel, coal, natural gas, cement, fertilizers, crude oil. Coming to the next topic, we have Phillips curve. Phillips curve shows us the relation between inflation and unemployment. It is a graph like. So it says that inflation is directly proportional, or inflation is inversely proportional to unemployment. For example, the higher the inflation will be, lesser will be unemployment. Oh wow, that's very unique to hear. So whatsoever. Then we will go for stagflation. Stagflation means stagnant economy plus inflation. Stagnant economy, matlab, it's not doing well, or just like the Trump said today, India is a dead economy. Ha, come on, we are like fourth largest GDPs in the world, and we are contributing somewhat like 3% of the world contributors to GDP, or so. That really don't make sense. For the time being, let's come to the next topic, that is unemployment. Unemployment is calculated on three period based measures that are yearly, not monthly, weekly, and daily. That's how we calculate unemployment. It's calculated by, there's a minister called NOE, NSSO. I don't remember what does it mean. Whatsoever. टाइप्स ऑफ अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, हम कौन से बेरोजगार हैं, अब आपको बताएंगे। तो सो हम कौन से बेरोजगार हैं, लेट्स स्टार्ट विद इट। Types of unemployment. The very first one is the structural employment. Structural employment means the structural set of the workers is not as per the industrial requirements. Example, you want an example? Let me give you an example. For example, if teleperformance requires people with efficient or eloquent English, and there comes a jerks like this who are not good at English, so that's structural employment. I'm not able to give the skill set that the company requires. That's structural employment. Then there is educated unemployment, which is again me. It means that when an educated student or educated employee is, I'm not employed, when an educated person is not able to get a job, it's called educated unemployment. Then let's come to the third type of employment, that's disguised in employment, which is often seen in agriculture practices where there is a need of 10 fieldsmen there. There are 20 fieldsmen working there. That's disguised employment. Then fourth is frictional employment. Frictional employment means if I get employed and I want to switch jobs to some other industry and I'm not able to do so in the certain period of the time, that's called frictional employment for better opportunities. Then there is cycle unemployment, which is often seen during the period of recession. Nothing to brag about. Then there is the very perfect employment that perfectly describe why India is unemployment. That is real wage unemployment, or often called as classical employment. What it means that a lot of people are looking for high paying jobs. That's the, for me, I believe that that's the major concern or major point that why maximum of people in India are not unemployment, because jobs are there, but people want good pay scale, so they are unemployment. That's called real wage employment or classical employment. Then there is the last one, that is natural employment. Natural employment shows us that in a economy, in a healthy economy, number of individuals that can be employed, that can be unemployed, and it don't affect the economy. That's natural economy. Later on, let's come to some verdicts that I have read. That is, what is a marginal worker? Marginal worker is a worker who had been working with a firm for 6 months or 183 days. Non-marginal workers are 6 months or 183 days less working time is there. Then there is a thing called organized sector. Organized sectors means that are related to government. Unorganized sectors that are not related to environment, जैसे कि a lot of YouTubers give paid promotion about those ads. Those are unorganized sectors. Then we will talk about narega, that is national narega, NREGA, national rural employment guarantee act, which was, I don't remember the word here, which was like started, not like, which was drafted in the year 2005. Later on, it was passed in year 2006, and later on in 2009, Narega was converted to Manrega. That is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. Those are no, which commits individual to get employed for 120 days. There is something I left the Bhagwati Committee in 1973, and that's all from my side. Thank you, and have a nice day ahead. It's really tough. Like speaking English is not tough, but sometimes providing the good words is really tough. For example, right now I could easily said that in 2005 the bill was made or whatsoever, but I was looking for some technical terms, technical jargons, which limits me to speak fluently. And somewhere I have read that doing this that is not a good not a good quality of a good speaker. So I should be calm and not moving my hand. That shows anxiety and anxiousness and not a confident attitude of yours. Let me tell you a story about this. So when I was doing mechanical engineering in 2000, maybe 19 or 20's time, there was a class of ours during in mechanical engineering. It was communication, English and communication class, something like that. And the person who used to take our like take that class of ours was dead. No words for you. So there was one day he was teaching us something. So like beta, if you are given an opportunity to speak in a public place and you feels that you are feeling very nervous about that, so what you have to do? So he told us that you can chew some chewing gums or think of some different ideology or whatsoever. Later on he told us one very important thing, that if you are feeling nervous, place your hands like this and put like, just show the palm of your hands toward the sky and just sit like this. You will feel not nervous. And I was like, oh man, if someone is sitting an interview and person is sitting like this, so that was very, so everyone so for the like it was a semester class, so it goes for 6 months. So every from that day onwards, every single day in his class, everyone was like doing this. But kudos to him, he did perfect teaching such a kids like us who never attended class and whatsoever. I really hope you enjoyed my videos. You enjoying my videos. The quality of these microphones is not good, so please watch, share, and subscribe. What the fuck I am even saying? Chalo, pants. Bhago.